Okay, so thanks everyone for joining. Again, we have 2 more minutes. So if you have enough time to run to the kitchen, grab a cup of something to drink and get back, that's amazing. Because we have a really, really wonderful and interesting 2 hours ahead of us. As mentioned before, the entire session is going to be recorded, and later on also the slides will be provided via SlideShare, so you can check them out, and later on also contact with each and every one of our theme panelists. And if you're not familiar with them, I will introduce them in a sec and allow them also some time to tell about themselves as well. So 1 minute and we will start.
So let's ask Shay the same question. Shay, how many defects have you found? Like, you are from the good guys, you know, companies are paying you for finding new vulnerabilities. So how many defects have you found? Like, we are.
I'll be honest to say that these days I don't necessarily publish my 0 days. As opposed to Rotem, I don't necessarily have the motivation anymore to keep all my tricks, public. So I do keep a couple of, I'm not keeping RCEs to myself or anything like that, but some enumeration elements and some source code disclosure issues, I keep to myself and I use them from time to time. And how many did we found? No, running a pen test means tons of vulnerabilities, but those are routines. If you're talking about red team exercises, there's a couple of interesting ones. We actually had, SQL injection is rare these days. We had almost 6 this year. From early, half a year. In our stats, that's quite rare, So this year's been pretty good. Still, legacy systems. You rarely see those in, all the rest of the stars, IDOs, XXCs, even RCEs, you find those every now and then. SQL injection, legacy systems. That's what happens mostly.
So you are focusing on quality.
Not necessarily. We do need quantity. We do need quantity in pentest at least. You can't miss. The whole point is don't miss anything. Although Rotem knows that's just not the case. Pentest depends on the pentester and his mood, and whether or not his girlfriend dumped him the last day, and how much he had to drink before he walked, and all that. That's just reality.
Interesting.
Okay, so let's start. The time comes and we should start. So Leo, recording is working. Amazing. So, ladies and gents, so today's meeting or today's meetup is about the hacking games, think like a hacker. We are going to hear from 3 different people, each one of them wore that at some point in his life or still wearing that in his life. We will start with Shay, the CEO of Effective Security. Shay has quite a, how do you say it? Mileage, not kilometers. Oh, that's weird. Quite a mileage in the industry.
Say old.
And he's going to show us some trends in Appsec. Later on, we'll move to one of the researchers in Pentera. Yuval Rabinowitz is going to speak about calculating CVE reputation. All those numbers, all those weird things that, is critical, still really critical. The numbers, does they mean anything to our organizations, etc. And we'll close up with the Rotem bar, not to mix with the Rotem bar from the podcast, the guy that works in BDO and then the OT and things like this. This is the other famous Rotem bar from used to be Cider, now part of PaloAlto. Rotem is going to tell us a bit about bug bounty and how to basically, or what does it mean to have a bug bounty program? What does it mean, or what's the difference? I remember when we discussed it before, we discussed the difference between bug bounty and in general PT or hacking. Where those lines, or what are the lines between them, or what are the lines that connect them? I remember speaking about, well, probably the motivation is cost or something else, direct cost for findings or the cost of fixed price for doing such services, etc. I'm pretty sure it's going to be really, really fun.